So if you're able to, we're going to want to stand up really nice and tall here. Take a nice deep breath, inhaling and having that long, tall posture, and then exhaling. I'll just do one more here. Inhaling and exhaling. Now, if you didn't take a moment already to get a little bit warm, we're going to all do some arm circles here. So have your feet comfortable width apart. Nice long tall posture. Arms straight up to the side. Check in with your shoulders. Drop them a little bit further. And just draw some little circles with your hands. Try to center those circles around your shoulder joint. Of course, if your shoulders are grumpy and they don't want to do this, you could absolutely do some air squats, jumping jack. Well, leave off the arms for the jumping jacks if your shoulders are grumpy, but you could insert an exercise of your choice. Check in with your posture. Make sure your ears are staying stacked on top of your shoulders are nice and low, your hands are nice and high. And when your circles are centered on your shoulders, what that means is just as much of the circle is behind the shoulder as is coming in front. So just looking for that symmetry there. Reverse the direction of the circle. If your shoulders are burning a little bit, say, good job, shoulders. Well done. You could always take a mini rest and come back. You have free will, so feel free to use it. Beautiful. Bring your arms down by your sides. If you need a little wiggle to help relax those shoulders now, you can do so with some nice shoulder rolls or dropping your head to one side and then the other. And now what we're going to do is we're going to come into a quadruped position. So I'm going to stand sideways towards you and I'm going to have my hands on the stool. You could be on hands and knees on the ground. You could put your hands on a wall. You could put your hands on your own knees. You could put your hands on a desk. We don't want this to be a rolly surface, though, so I wouldn't put your hands on a rolly chair. Now, however you are, if you feel like your hamstrings are a little bit overextended, like right here, oh, I feel like that's work. So if I'm in a position where my hamstrings are feeling a little bit too tight for this, I could absolutely just bend my knees. Still a good move. I'm going to come up here and be up on my hands because that's a pretty comfortable position for me. And I'm going to do some bird dogs. So when I'm doing a bird dog, sometimes they're also called pointer dogs, I'm bringing opposite arm and leg up. So left arm, right leg, come up towards the ceiling. As I do this, I want my shoulders to stay perfectly even. So even to the floor beneath me, even to the wall in front of me, and same with my hips. My hips aren't doing any sort of wonky position. If I go to put my foot back down, my foot is only a millimeter from the ground when my foot drops down towards the floor. So, no movement through my hips, no movement through my hips. I could switch sides. You won't know which leg is down and which leg is up. So, bear that in mind. There is an element of this that's somewhat like a plank in that we're not doing a rotational exercise here. We're avoiding the rotation. Now, I'm going to alternate sides. So left leg, right arm, pause at the top, squeeze up a little bit higher, and then come down. Left arm, right leg, pause at the top, squeeze up a little bit higher, and then come down. And we're just going to continue alternating sides here. Again, trying to get a little bit warmer with our body. But this activity also is really great for postural muscles. So helping to develop the muscles on either side of your spine, helping the muscles of your upper back that help you stay upright. As I'm doing this, there can be a tendency to get an arch in my lower back to bring my leg up higher. I don't want to do that. I want to keep my body nice and straight here. No arching and rounding. When we arch and round, that is good, but we want to do it intentionally and at the right times for a purpose. So one more on each side. Lovely. Now we're going to do our arching and rounding. So from this position, I'm going to arch through my back, try and get my chest to come in between my two arms here. It won't go, but that's the feeling that we're going for. Trying to push our chest between our hands, draw the back of your head back in space. And then take a really deep inhale here. Trying to fill up your lungs with air and increase that stretch through the front of your body. And then rounding. Here I'm thinking of a lovely gift for my lower back, giving that a counter stretch. Tucking my chin. And make sure you take a really nice complete exhale here. Now we're going to go back and forth between the two positions. So arching and rounding at your own pace. You could take a couple of breaths in each position, really sinking in deeper with every cycle, or you can arch inhale and exhale round, going back and forth with the cadence of your own breath. It's completely up to you. I tend to do less long hold stretching when I'm less warm and more movement, more active stretching when I'm a little cooler and chillier. As you're moving through these two positions, really think about your different parts of your body. Think about your neck, your lower back, everywhere in between. And if you notice some part of your body is especially creaky or cranky, you might try and take some of the stress off. So if I'm feeling like rounding my lower back is just a little bit too much, maybe I try and round slightly less. Maybe I just say, okay, with the rounding, my lower back isn't going to do that for me today. I'll round a little bit less. I'll round not at all. I'll come back to that after I'm a little bit warmer. Just really tailoring and customizing to your own body. Because with the rounding, what I can do is just round through my chin and neutral through my lower back. And then go to arch and then neutral. That's okay. If your body is hurting, don't hurt it. All right, so next thing we want to do is a little bit of lateral bending. This is difficult to see from the side, so I'm going to imagine that I am doing it with my stool in front of me. But I'm doing a lateral bend through my spine one way, and then a lateral bend through my spine the other way. If you were able to see me from the underside, it would look like this. So a nice little bend through my spine, and then a nice little bend through my spine. Now, I'm able to feel a lot of side-to-side asymmetries. When I bend one way, it feels a little bit different than when I bend the other way. So I'm going to go really nice and slow with this. Slowly entering the stretch. I think that took me maybe a 5 to 8 count to get all the way into the stretch. And then I'm going to slowly relax out of that and tip towards the other direction. So now my right hip and my right shoulder are close together. My left hip and my left shoulder are far apart. Believe it or not, I'm still going into the stretch a little bit more. It's very, very slow. Definitely snail's pace when you've got a little bit of creakiness going on. Because if I were to zip in and zip out, I might cross that threshold of what hurts. And get into that pain territory. But right now, I'm just in sort of like, okay, proceed with caution territory. Feels a little creaky. Do I have a sore muscle? Do I have an injury? We're not sure yet. Getting a little bit of that lateral bend. If it feels really good to you, you can go in a little bit deeper. You can hang out there. You could do a little bit of experimenting. You could draw a circle with your belly button here. So you would go from arching to side bend, to rounding, to the other side, and back to arching. Beautiful. Now, wherever you're at, we're going to do some rotation now. So we've got a forward and back movement for our spine, some lateral movement for our spine, and now we're going to get in some twisting by reaching for the floor. If you are on hands and knees, just bend your elbow and then reach for the floor with your elbow. And then we're going to reach up towards the ceiling and then reach back and down. So you can see that my spine is doing some twisting as I reach towards the floor, reach forward, reach up towards the ceiling, and back. I'm going to aim for about 4 to 5 circles here before you move on to the next side. And if your arm and your shoulder are a little bit creaky, maybe you just reach with your shoulder. So that would look like reaching down with my shoulder, the point of my shoulder here, and then reaching up with the point of my shoulder, almost just looking in that circle. All right, I'm going to switch sides here, reaching down and reaching up, allowing that rotation to be as big as it wants to be through my spine. And as I'm rotating through my spine, I'm also getting really excellent range of motion through my shoulder joint. If my spine was grumpy about twisting, I could just include the shoulder, right? I can leave off the part that I want to leave off. And now, whenever you're done here, 4 to 5 circles, we're going to do the same thing, but through our hips. So I'm going to bend my knee here. And with my left leg, I'm going to drop my knee down towards the ground, reach forward with my knee, extend. So I'm open here and twisting, right? I'm twisting through my hips and then back and down. Hopefully this feels really nice on your hips. You could also reverse the direction and see how that feels. And whenever you've done your 4 to 5 circles, you're just going to move along to the other side, reaching down with the right knee, reaching forward, reaching up, and back down and around. Hopefully I'm not the only one snap, crackle, and popping over here. Nice. And whenever you're done that, we're just going to stand up and relax our shoulders down towards the ground, really reaching down with your hands. And then we'll drop the left ear towards the left shoulder, continuing to reach for the ground with both hands. You can rock your head back in space slightly, rock forward, just playing with your angles. And whenever you're ready, drop your chin down towards your chest, allowing your head to roll towards the right. We're maintaining that strong reach for the floor here. So we get this nice stretch through the left side of the neck. Then we can play with the angles again. Rocking your head back a little bit, forward a little bit. If it feels nice to you, you might want to just reach over. So I'm stretching the left side of my neck. I'm going to use my right hand to give myself a little bit of a massage here. Beautiful. And if you do go for the massage, it feels good. I definitely recommend doing that on both sides. So then drop your left ear back over to your left shoulder and do a little bit of a neck massage for your right side as well. Nice. We'll stand up from that and just switch over to hands, making a fist and drawing some nice big circles with your fists around your forearm. You can explore both directions if this feels like a particularly good one for you. And then we'll just end by taking care of the palm of our hand and down into the forearm here, stretching the fingers back from the side. It will look like this. So I'm holding on to my left hand's fingers with my right hand to just get a nice stretch, whatever feels good to me. And then switching sides. Whenever you're ready, you are all done. Thank you all so much for joining us today. Hope you had a nice time. And I will see you all next week. Take care, everybody.